Good morning. Today is November 15th, 2019. Just to prove that we started our bathroom project on September 16, 2019, which was the day of demo. So we're almost at exactly 8 weeks, and today we're tearing out our existing work that was done over that 8-week time frame and starting completely over. Why I'm showing you this window here in the garage is because a window was to be replaced in our bathroom during construction. So this window was not even ordered until pretty much the day of construction. And I just want to point out the manufacturing date on here. Right there, 9/23/2019. Again, we started demo on 9/16/2019. And the reason why this is sitting in the garage is because the window was ordered with completely wrong size. So it's off by more than 6 inches. So that delayed even longer. So let's go back up in the bathroom. And there you can see the window that was installed. You can see that the window that was repurchased, the horizontal grid lines are dipping down at more than 1/4 inch on the left. So this glass needed to get replaced. It still hasn't been replaced. They're actually scheduled to come today, but we're having demo done today, so that can't be done. It wasn't properly sealed, no flashing on the outside. At this point, we don't know what we're doing with this, just scrapping it. So other than the window, the delays were, they started tearing out my original bathroom. They started working, putting this wall in here with tile. The tile had excessive lippage, and they started to pull tiles off to see if that would fix it. In the meantime, I had no window, so they had completely gutted the tile and the Kerdi board behind here. They also took out this section of Kerdi board and tile as well. They left the Kerdi board back here on this wall, and they had tiled the lower section, and they also had the niche tiled in as well. Then they left for 2 weeks, and because we needed to get our window, which is this window in here now, before they continued tiling up this wall. So they left for 2 weeks, and the window came in, was installed incorrectly, no flashing on the outside. Nothing was sealed on the inside as well, and they just started tiling. We'll get into issues when we start videotaping the deconstruction of this. So we had multiple delays. They kept picking up their stuff, leaving for a couple days. This is why we're at 8 weeks total without our shower. This is our only shower in this house. This is a 1.5 bath home. So we've been out a shower for 2 months to the date now. So let's just go over some issues here real quick. This lower hole wall, I have pictures that this whole lower wall section here on the left was completely replaced, new Kerdi board, and tiled up and over. And as you can see, I accidentally leaned against this wall. There were loose tiles, and I had other people come in and assess everything at the final end stage of this, where we were fed up, and they just started pulling tiles off. Tiles were not, they were pretty much loose, and the reason is that there is no thin set burned into the board. The coverage on the back of the tiles is ridiculous. They're using Kerdi Fix in here to adhere whatever, or to fix loose tiles. We move over to here. We have an issue when they put a brand new wall in, so they gutted this wall, new Kerdi board from here down, and then they decided to say to hell with it, and all back in here is nothing but Kerdi Fix glue. There's no thin set. Kind of hard for me to pick up on the camera here. I have other videos, so there you can see the entire backboard, Kerdi board. You know, we'll look at this more closely when everything gets removed today and see what we're dealing with. But there's a lot of Kerdi Fix behind here. Sorry, I can't get that much on camera. So, I don't know, I guess they don't have tools to cut around tile properly. So they just start hammering away at things with a chisel probably. All this tile is just hammered away. This one, I guess they did have a hole saw small enough to drill through that. Here, the floor I was told is not pitched correctly. I have some video showing some water that stays in this area here. Also in this area here, I have water sitting in this area. Also, I have 4 inches of stagnant water sitting in this drain for whatever reason. Don't know why that is. Go over here back to this wall. So I have this tape lines up. I didn't tape the whole wall, but there's issues on the whole wall. I just want to show here real quick that these grout lines should match up where these arrows are. So it's a grout line, skip 2 tiles, a grout line, skip 2 tiles, and then the grout line should be over here. So I'm off by 1.5 inches here, and probably 1.5 inches here. Next one, you know, grout line, 1, 2, grout line, 1, 2, grout line, 1, 2, and then here's the grout line. So I'm off on here by almost 2 inches. You know, the same thing continues down this wall, but I didn't tape it. What's the point of taping the whole wall? Just to show that. The tile spacing should be roughly around 4 inches. These are 12-inch tiles. You can see this one's at 5.5, almost 6 inches. And then you have another spacing here that's 2.5 inches. So, you know, it should be 4-inch spacing for every single tile, because these tiles are almost 12 inches in length, a full tile here. That's exactly 12 inches. Now I'm willing to, you know, 1/4 inch here and there, no big deal, but when you have something that's down here, you have, you know, 2.5 inches compared to, you know, 6 inches, 5.5, almost 6 inches here. That's unacceptable. Also this floor here real quick, into the main floor area, whereas we have pitching issues. This is a curbless shower. So just gonna put a level on here real quick. So this is going back into the main floor. So any water that comes here, there's supposed to be a piece of glass that comes here and then cuts all up this wall. So there's another issue. They cut that and didn't put a Kerdi band in there, just left that like that. I was told, well, here's a corner Schluter Kerdi band wrapping around that wall. I don't know what's all under here. I was told there's no corner band here by the experts. We'll find out when that gets torn out. But back to here, so any water that gets on this tile going into our main floor, water's just gonna pour into our main floor area. So this is pitched all incorrectly. And then if it cuts, you know, if water goes back into the shower, that's pitched correctly there. And, you know, it's pitched correctly over here. So any water in the shower, but, you know, you get water here, and this is curbless. This floor should all be, level going back into the main floor area. So, or pitched actually back into the shower area. We do have some lippage issues here. So there's some lippage issues on some of this tile here. Also, it's high in the center, so I went around and looked at all this tile, and this is another issue here too. The height of this toilet flange. I mean, this thing, I think this is supposed to be screwed down here, and this just spins around, and the height of it I don't think is correct. But so what I mean by the bathroom floor, it's hard to pick up on a camera, but kind of highlight it with a flashlight. The center of it here is kind of at a high point, and then when you put a level on it, it slopes down here, and on the right hand side it'll slope to the right hand side. So the center is a high point, and then the tiles slope to either direction, to either wall of the shower. So that's it for now. Also, some of this trim work here, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this trim. If this is supposed to be permanent, I don't know why it was even, it's not even cut up to the ceiling. There's a big hole there in the wall. I can go around this whole room and spend hours, but it's all getting torn out today. I just want to do a quick video. So there's a hole there, and then none of these walls were, trued up prior to doing anything. So there's a big gap right here, and they actually thin set there, but so I don't know what's going on with this, but you can see there's this huge gap down here, and then up here there's no gap. When you put a level to check plumb, there's supposed to be a piece of glass on here coming across here. I was told it's supposed to be a clipped piece of glass, and the way this wall is completely bowed back in that direction, just because the offsetting of the walls where the drywall and the curdy board are, there's a huge gap starting to grow up here, and we were told it was supposed to be clipped glass, and then they came back and said, oh, we'll just use J-channel glass. So they couldn't silicone it because there would be big globs of silicone sealing it. So it's just, there's an issue, and then it's, how do we band-aid it? So that light's been sitting there for, 6 weeks like that. They never got to correctly installing the one above the shower. So, see you in an hour when we start demoing.